James is a Spurs fan, Ryan's a Spurs fan, Kate's a Spurs fan. We're going to get to them all. Let's start with James. Hello.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. You boys, are you well?
Yeah, we're good.
Great,
We're good. We're entertained by Tottenham last night, I thought.
Yeah. I think that, there seems to be a thing in the media, and I'm the biggest critic. I've been supporting Tottenham for 50 years. And that even Glenn Hoddle last night, it was like Alan Smith was commentating on them. It was like he was delighted. I've told you this would happen throughout the 90 minutes. And yeah, we've got half our defence. We've got a goalkeeper who, he did a couple of good saves. He's not fit for the purpose. That's Levy's fault. They should have bought a reserve goalie, 6 months ago. But I think that, when you say, we don't take our chances, as you said, Sam, we've scored more goals than anyone else in the whole league. And I think that we may not take them, but look how many we create. And last night we must have had we should have won about 4-2.
James, you say that what you said about Glenn, though. You said that he said this is what's going to happen. It is what happened.
I know.
So he was just telling you what was going to happen next because he could see it.
He could see it. The problem that we've got is we're fantastic going forward, and I think that if we would have had our main defence and Vicario, it may not have happened. But I think that the problem with Ange is it doesn't matter whether we're playing half a first team, or we got 8 players out. He will still play the same way.
Yeah.
And I think maybe he needs to be, and I think Troy was saying, we need to be a little bit more pragmatic, because you can't just say, well, that's how we're going to play, mate. Even if you've got 8, half your team out, you have to be pragmatic, and he's not pragmatic when we got the full team. So I think he really does need to be pragmatic. Otherwise, I fear in the next few months, if we are not, and we got players out, we're going to drop a lot of points, like Troy Deeney said.
James,
I think that's it. Yeah.
James, you mentioned the absentees, but you did have your first-choice centre-backs and Vicario when you were 2-0 up and cruising at Brighton at half-time, and you managed to lose that game, and Postecoglou didn't react to Brighton's changes until it was too late. Let me ask you another question as a Tottenham fan. Would you rather finish 6th but play entertaining football, this harem-scarum stuff for the rest of the season, or would you rather finish 4th playing dull, negative football and grinding out a couple of 1-0 wins?
You can't categorise it as harem-scarum. It's exciting, entertaining, sometimes naive, but it's definitely gripping football. Harem-scarum is negative.
People criticise Conte, but in the first season that he was there, we played the last 3 months fantastic counter-attacking football with Kane and Song, and we finished 4th. So I think that Conte, if he would have been judged on that first 6 months, he was fantastic. He completely changed the way we played. We were pragmatic, but we were amazing on the counter-attack. And look what we did against Man City. Okay. That was not Ange ball. That was far more Conte counter-attacking football.
Okay, cheers, James. Appreciate it. Ryan's a Spurs fan. Go for it.
How you doing, guys? You all right?
Yeah, we're good, mate. Go on. What do you want to say?
Well, I think for me, it's, as much as I didn't like Conte's outburst before he left, there seems to be a real sort of issue with the culture of the club. And when you look at even Dejan Kulusevski this week, even mentioned it in a different interview he had. And, I want to ask Troy this question is, Spurs have arguably got the best training facilities, the best stadium in the league. Yeah. But, can a footballer have way too much comfort around them that affects their ability to sort of be up for it and maybe get too comfortable? Because I think that's what's issues with the mentality with Spurs at the moment.
Well, yeah, I think you're right in that card. It can be too nice. The reason I say that is I've done a lot of work with England rugby at the moment. I know they're not doing great at the moment, but over the last 10 years, they said they would always try and get people at 4-star, never give the players 5-star, because it always give them something to achieve and chase.
Yeah,
I think the problem with Spurs is that it is too nice. Everything is laid on a plate, but you're getting that for dare I say, substandard results. Like you're
he's
being
not
rewarded.
Too nice though. From what I understand, he's not exactly the sort of cuddly, happy figure around the dressing room, putting his arm around everybody.
I do agree with that.
I think he tries to keep his distance between them and keep them a little bit guessing.
But you have to remember, this is a case of over 20 odd years.
Okay,
it's not like just this is coming and change it.
Sorry to interrupt, but I'm talking about the aesthetics of it all.
Yeah, it is too nice. I agree with you.
I love the way Ange plays. I really believe in his philosophy of football. But the problem is, have our players got the right mentality to deliver what he wants to deliver? There was a video on YouTube when he was at Celtic, and he said, "We do not stop," but yet a lot of our players do stop. Last night, Basuma was by the goal line. Everyone else pushed up. He didn't push up, and he went offside. I think that's a big issue as well.
Ryan?
Sorry, 1 second before I leave. I take a bit of issue with what Alex said, that Spurs won't make top 4. So I want to put this out to you, Alex. £100, Bobby Moore, Bobby Robson Foundation charity bet. Spurs finish above Man United.
Well, that's not what I said, that was it?
Actually, it's a good point, though, Ryan. I'll tell you what, have a think about it and come back to us.
I'll take the charity bet the Spurs don't finish top 4, but I'm not going to put United as part of that conversation.
That wasn't the bet that he offered you.
Well, I'm not taking that bet.
He's panicking there, Ryan. You got him on the back foot. We like that. Thank you very much. The players at Tottenham, as you say, might be too comfortable, but Alex Crook is a bit uncomfortable now. Let's speak to Kate, who's a Spurs fan. Hello, Kate.
Morning, gents. You all okay?
Yeah, we're good. Go on, what do you want to say?
Look, first of all, Alex Crook's agenda against Spurs is so blatantly obvious. It's so frustrating.
Why would I have an agenda against Spurs?
Because you never praise us. You focus on the negative all the time, Alex.
You are a bit negative.
Not true. I've praised you last weekend after what you did at Manchester City.
Right, okay.
I'm just not a fully paid up member of the Big Ange cheerleader club. Is that okay? I have no agenda against Spurs because you've not really made a blot on the football landscape in my lifetime, so I honestly don't care either way.
Ooh, salty. I'm not actually a full-paid member of the cheerleader club of Ange Postecoglou either. However, I don't understand how 1 week the media can be like deeming it an Ange masterclass and raving about Spurs, and then the next minute us be this bad.
Well, hold on a second, Kate. It's not about the media. The results are as helter-skelter as the coverage, right? So the coverage reflects what happened. They were brilliant against Manchester City. They let in a goal in the last minute to throw away a lead against Roma in the Europa League. So you're going to get the coverage that your performances demand, right?
I agree entirely with what you're saying, but a lot of people are saying, like, Alex Crook was criticising our way of playing. It was blatantly obvious on Sunday that Ange changed the system to fit the opponent. Now, yesterday, look, nobody wants inconsistency. Roma deserved to equalise without any shadow of a doubt. And, of course, I would have loved it for us to shut up shop. But Ange is still learning. It is only 18 months into this project. He's changed the whole philosophy and ethos of this club. We've gone from playing very negative football to being a lot more attacking. For me, personally, I think it needs to be somewhere in the middle. I think he's too sort of gung-ho at times. However, I think the fact that he gets called naive and slagged off constantly for trying to play what I consider to be proper football, none of this anti-football like Arsenal play where they park the bus. And yes, I know Arsenal are second in the league or whatever and they're playing a lot better than us. This is why I said there's got to be somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle is probably about right, Kate. Thank you very much. We've got to go, but thank you very much for your contribution. Appreciate that. You're too negative, by the way. Got to start being a little bit more positive.
I like the fact that people are just hammering him.
Do you?
Yeah, I could just sit here for the next hour.
Why would I have an anti-Tottenham agenda, honestly?
Yeah, but that was a bit... They haven't made a blot on the football landscape. Yes, they have. They won the League Cup in 2009. That's what? You would love to win the League Cup now. You'd running naked up the street if your team won it now.
Do you know when I liked Tottenham? When they had a proper coach in charge, Pochettino took them to a Champions League final and then they sacked him.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.